So what can we Christians do to ensure that one of our holiest weeks of the year doesn't continue to cause violence and harm to Jewish people? 1. We need to be willing to have our most cherished theological and biblical interpretations challenged, and let them go if they cause harm. It is understandable that when one's deeply held beliefs are being challenged or called out, that one would get defensive. But if you truly want to advocate for a more just and equitable world, we need to listen to those we have caused harm, whether that harm was intentional or not. 2. Reconsider the verses used during Lent and Holy Week. This is probably one of the more controversial suggestions for numerous reasons. One reason is that these texts have been used in congregations for a long time, and people, for better or worse, are attached to their traditions. Another reason is that these verses are part of the Christian biblical canon, whether we like it or not, and not referencing them seems like a cop-out. But the reality is that most pastors don't have the time or the will to explore the problematic nature of these verses in depth and guide their congregations on how to refrain from causing harm. As a result, if pastors cannot give these texts the care and thought that they deserve, perhaps we need to figure something else out. 3, research. The Bible is a really complicated text. There's a tendency among some form of American Christianity to think that the simplest interpretation is the correct one. But the reality is that our interpretation of the Bible is not value-free. So much of our understanding of the biblical text is rooted in antisemitism and other forms of violence. As such, we need to acknowledge that and then do the work to explore the context of the biblical text. 4, we are going to make mistakes, but we can be accountable and learn from them. Engaging in the work of trying to create a more just and equitable world is difficult, and we will make mistakes. There's no avoiding that. However, what we do control is how we respond to those mistakes. Will we pretend we never made them, or will we seek to make amends?